everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout for Simple Stories. I'm using the really beautiful Simple Vintage Country Harvest collection, which is brand new and I don't think it's even hit stores yet. So I'm really lucky to be working with this collection. It is really beautiful. So I'm scrapping some photos from last year, and if you watched my previous video using this collection, you'll know that I put a photo into one of the chipboard frames, circular chipboard frames, and unfortunately it just didn't fit on the previous layout very well, so I bumped it to use on this layout instead. So I'd already got my photo picked out and framed in one of the beautiful chipboard frames. So I picked out one of the really beautiful papers and I have torn off a large section to sit at the top of my layout. At the bottom I'm using one of the sheets from the basics pack. So they're like B-side pattern papers. They're very subtle and you only get them for the Simple Vintage collections. So I'm using a sheet from there. It's a white sheet, slightly off-white. It matches the Simple Vintage Country Harvest collection perfectly, of course, and has some very subtle lines and some textures and notepaper things, that kind of thing on it as well. So it's a very subtle pattern, very tone on tone, and ideal for a background because it reads as a solid, yet is a little bit more interesting than just plain white card. I really rate these packs. I really love them, and every time I make a layout with a Simple Vintage collection, I tend to use definitely some of those papers from the basics kit. Okay, so I've got that large section of paper at the top, my photo, the Simple Vintage basics paper at the bottom, and now I'm just going to build a big cluster. It's going to cascade down from the top towards the bottom, with lots of different elements and things from this beautiful collection. So I've got the bits and pieces pack out, and I've got the harvest bits pack out. I've also got the chipboard to play with as well, and the foam stickers too. So I'm just using all the things today. Okay, so I'm working out what will look right in that big cluster that's going to come down from the top down to the bottom. I do these kind of cascading layouts a lot, and it's always a design that I love and I come back to time and time again. So I'm thinking they're going to have one very large cluster from top to bottom, and then another one kind of top right of the circle as well. So just some more leaves and bits and pieces there too. So far I've got a crate. I think that's ephemera, bits and pieces, rather than chipboard. Crate with some pumpkins in. I've got one of the new products, which is the Chipboard Clusters, to the left of my chipboard frame. It says it's a brown pumpkin. It says Nature's Splendor. It has a blue butterfly, and then it's got kind of like a stitched label on it that says fall is my favourite. So they're really lovely, those clusters. They are all flat, they don't have any dimension on them, as in they're made of chipboard, so they have the regular chipboard dimension. But when I said that was stitched, it's not actually stitched, but the elements are really beautiful on these, and they'll give you, it looks like you've got some good dimension when you haven't. It's very well done. I really love them. So they're a definite favourite new product of mine. So I've got one of those. I've got the crate. I've added some tickets that I've stapled together, and then I've got lots of bits from the harvest bits pack and the bits and pieces pack, just leaves and apples and flowers that I'm tucking in. I've got some tucked under the torn area. I've got some tucked under the frame and the chipboard cluster pumpkin, some tucked under the crate with the pumpkins in, and I'm just continuing to build on that. At the bottom I've got one of the again from the vintage collections. I really love these borders that have been made. So it's like a strip of washi tape with some leaves, a pumpkin, a doily, and stitching, and then a butterfly and a sign that says "Happy for you all." So that together is this really beautiful like border cluster. That one is from the Adhesive Brads pack. And because I wanted to put it at the bottom of the layout, it didn't quite fit because the pumpkin and one of the leaves extends beyond the bottom of the washi tape strip, and I wanted that to sit on the bottom edge of my layout. So in order to get around that, I've cut a piece of pattern paper, and actually that is from the large piece that I'm just sticking down now. I've cut a piece of the other side of the pattern, so the brown and with white dots. I've cut a small narrow strip of that I've stuck across the bottom of the layout, and then the chipboard cluster can just sit on the top of that strip, and it just solves the problem of it extending down beyond the bottom of the layout.
Mummy.
Sorry, my little one just came to join in the voiceover there. Okay, so I'm just making sure everything is getting stuck in place now. I need to work a little bit more on the cluster at the top right of the photo, but the big cluster from the chipboard frame down towards the bottom of the layout is pretty much complete. I just need to stick everything in place. I will add a few more bits, but the vast majority, the main basic shape is there, and now I'll just be able to add smaller little things on top of that big cluster as I go, but most of it's in place already. So I'm just adding in some little hearts. I think they're from the Bits and Pieces pack. I also use stickers quite a lot as ephemera, so I take the stickers and then I add foam pads to the sticky side, and don't worry too much about the fact that they were supposed to be flat stickers. I just raise them as on foam pads and use them as ephemera. On that top right section, I've got a really large, I've got a normal pumpkin with a really, really, really long stem. And the really long stem was bothering me, but I didn't want to cut it off because then it wouldn't look right. So what I've just done is I've poked it in at the top there, and then I've covered up the top of the stem with two little label stickers that say Hello Autumn and Autumn Wonders, and I've got some hearts going on up there as well. I've also got a foam heart sticker up there, and then I've just added a large title, so the word fabulous from the foam stickers. That's going to be my title, of course. So I've just added that across that torn edge. I'm actually going to curve that a little bit round to the right in just a moment, so it reads a little bit flatter. Just wasn't quite happy with how it was looking, and unfortunately, looking on it now, I wish I'd moved it over towards the right a bit more, because the orange letters at the beginning of the word blend in with the orange pumpkins that I've got on the left. So I'm a bit sad that I didn't just move it over a little bit more, because then it would have read a bit better. But it says fabulous, and then I'm going to add the word fall underneath in tile alpha stickers from the sticker book. So that's my plan. So my title is Fabulous Fall. So just wanted to add a couple of these little wavy label stickers. Bits and pieces. But they wouldn't really fit in. I really love them. They're actually one of my favourite elements. I really like a wavy label, but it just wouldn't work. Didn't fit quite in place there. So I just moved on and left that there. So I will use those on another project. Okay, so adding in some of the tile alphabet stickers now from the sticker book to read my title as Fabulous Fall. So there we go, that's in place now. I'm never quite sure about the tile stickers, if I should stick them completely straight or if I should have them higgledy-piggledy, because I can't stick straight. So I have them higgledy-piggledy here. Okay, nearly done now. Just going to add in some splatters of brown paint that goes really nicely with this collection. It's called Top of the Morning to You, I think, by Shimmers Paints, just a spray bottle. And that's me done. I've also added some adhesive brads as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this layout. This collection is absolutely stunning. I've really enjoyed working with it. I've made 2 layouts with it so far and can't wait to make more. So yeah, that was the Simple Vintage Country Harvest collection by Simple Stories. And this was Nikki Rowland. Thank you for joining me. Bye.